name is Nathan Peld. I served in the United States Navy from 1998 to 2004. I was a nuclear electronics technician aboard the USS Ronald Reagan. And this placed me in an unusual situation because it was a pre-commissioning unit, which meant that I was there from the earliest stages of construction. And not a lot of people get to see things like that, the ship built from the water up, basically. So this also meant that most of the ship worked regular 7 to 3 and was able to go home at night. It was really great for them. I can also imagine that Northrop Grumman enjoyed the situation when they bought out Newport News Shipbuilding, installed all their own people, and made profit in barrels from the delay in construction. So, as a member of reactor department, we were divided into 4 groups that worked rotating shift work. And this provided 24 hours of security and testing, and we worked jointly with the shipyard in these matters. And I'm not here today to relate a personal experience, but as you've seen, there are people who need to be spoken for, and I hope to do that to the best of my ability. So on one of these off ships, when there was a minimal crew on board, there was a minimum number of shipyard workers aboard, there was a young girl who I went to nuke school with who was working in her divisional office. And she had a direct superior come in, and they had talked for a while, just genuine conversation, and then he dropped his pants and exposed himself to her. And fortunately, she recognized that this was not an off-color joke or the usual barrage of playful flirting, but more of a flagrant violation. And she took the proper method and reported this up her chain of command. And when this reached the senior enlisted commander in my department, he took it and tried to initiate a cover-up. And there were many reasons for this, because he hadn't actually hurt her. Perhaps they could still work out a compromise. It wasn't that it was an overwhelming hostile working environment in his perspective. And also, he had been in for 18 years. He was just 2 years away from retirement. And so her speaking out would ruin his career at such a key moment for him. And it would destroy, half of this man's life. And again, fortunately, she did not agree to this and went above her chain of command. So finally, when this account reached the upper chains of command and the 2 men had to explain themselves, of course, the man who exposed himself was finally put into procedure for a court-martial, and he was dishonorably discharged for this. But however, the even darker side, the man who initiated the cover-up was given only a reprimand. He was trying to do what was best for the department, and that was to keep us, quiet. And so only receiving a reprimand was the only action that was taken against him. And I think that an analysis of this is that perhaps you can see progress in that the command's knee-jerk reaction did result in the man's discharge, and work continued. She still maintained her position in the division. There was no direct retribution to her. But what this scene shows is how the Navy prioritizes a non-hostile working environment. And that those members who try to play games of male dominance, they receive all but a free pass. So thank you for your time and attention.